Good morning, Hastings. Let's jump right into your Monday morning explainer. When the team over at hastingsnow.com published their latest daily update covering the Hastings, Minnesota weather, plus some really cool on this date historical facts from Monday, July 6th, 2026, we knew we just had to dive right in. Today, we're basically looking at a classic, beautiful early July reset. We've got a fantastic blend of local weather, a few quick actionable tips for your day, and then we're going to take a fascinating little trip back in time to see exactly what makes July 6th such a remarkable date in history. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's get right into it.
87. Yep, that is your magic number for today. We're looking at a high temperature right near 87 degrees Fahrenheit here in town. Now, what's really great about this temperature is that it's just perfect, workable summer warmth, right? It's not totally scorching. It's just a beautiful, mostly sunny afternoon waiting to happen. If you've been holding out for a classic summer day to, say, run some errands, grab a bite on a patio, or just take in the river views, today is absolutely your day. And honestly, the underlying conditions are what's going to make today feel so incredibly comfortable. Underneath that high of 87, we're looking at a super mild Monday night low dropping down to around 66 degrees. Literally perfect weather for leaving the windows cracked open. The morning starts off pretty calm and then gives way to this very gentle south breeze at about 5 miles per hour. But the absolute best part? I checked the National Weather Service point forecast for Hastings, and there is a 0% chance of rain and 0 hazards listed. It is a completely clear, gorgeous outlook. Okay, so how should we actually plan our day around all these gorgeous conditions? Well, let's run through a quick little checklist. First up, light summer clothes are definitely going to be your best friend today. Second, if you're heading downtown or taking a stroll across the bridge near Levee Park, absolutely do not forget your sunglasses. That river glare is going to be real under those mostly sunny skies. Third, as we hit that 87-degree high, you'll for sure want to seek out some afternoon patio shade. And finally, if your garden plants are looking a little, dramatic today, make sure to water them early in the morning or later in the evening just to protect them from the midday heat.
Speaking of seeking out afternoon shade, I actually had to share this quote directly from today's Hastings Now update because it made me laugh. The red patio umbrellas downtown are no longer decorations. They are tiny emergency shade stations with excellent curb appeal. I just love this. It hits the nail on the head, perfectly capturing our downtown Hastings charm, while gently reminding us that, hey, an 87-degree afternoon in full sun? Yeah, that will definitely make you appreciate a good patio umbrella. It's just a fun little joke to keep in your back pocket if you're grabbing lunch downtown today. But just to put today's perfectly pleasant 87 degrees into perspective, let's rewind the clock for a stark historical contrast. We just talked about our totally workable weather here in Hastings today, but if we go back exactly 90 years to July 6, 1936, the town of Moorhead, Minnesota experienced a downright serious, blistering high of 114 degrees Fahrenheit. 114. It's a staggering comparison, isn't it? It just goes to show how wildly our Minnesota summer weather can swing from a lovely afternoon to a genuinely dangerous heat wave. And just to add a little more context on how unbelievably hot that is, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources notes that Moorhead's 114-degree day didn't just break a local record. No, it tied the all-time state record for Minnesota. That original state record was actually set back in 1917 over in the town of Beardsley. So seriously, when you step outside today and feel that 87-degree sun on your face, just take a quick moment to be thankful we aren't chasing the historical highs of 1936. Now, honestly, seeing those dates kind of sent me down a rabbit hole about what else actually happened on this exact day in history. So we put together this little July 6th time capsule. This specific date is just packed with fascinating historical markers. We've got our 2 Minnesota heat records in 1917 and 1936. But then there are these massive global and cultural events stretching back to 1885 and 1933. Let's dig into a couple of these non-weather milestones because they are truly fascinating. Okay, check this out. We're going way back to a major medical breakthrough in 1885. On July 6th of that year, Louis Pasteur and his team began treating a 9-year-old boy named Joseph Meister, who had unfortunately been badly bitten by a rabid dog. Now, according to the CDC, this was literally the very first human rabies vaccination. It was incredibly risky at the time, but it worked. This single pivotal event on this very day in history forever changed the modern trajectory of vaccines and global public health. It's just wild to think that such a monumental scientific leap forward shares a calendar date with our breezy Monday here in Hastings. All right, let's shift gears from the laboratory to something a little more summer tradition, the baseball diamond.
Looking at 1933, on July 6th, Chicago's Comiskey Park hosted the very first Major League Baseball All-Star Game. The American League actually ended up beating the National League 4-2 that day. The Society for American Baseball Research points to this as the start of a massive summer tradition. Sunshine, baseball, and the thrill of the mid-season classic. It's a piece of history that just feels perfectly aligned with a warm, sunny July day, right? All right, bringing it all back home to the present day, right here in Hastings. Before you head out the door to make the absolute most of your Monday, just keep these 3 quick reminders in your back pocket. First, get out there and actually enjoy this beautiful 87-degree weather. Second, while the forecast is totally clear right now, we all know how Minnesota weather can change in the blink of an eye. So always give the local radar a quick check for those pop-up summer storms. And finally, if you see something interesting while you're out and about, or if you've got a local tip, a great deal, or an event coming up, make sure to send it over to the folks at Hastings now. Which brings us to our final thought for the day, and a question I really want to leave you with. We've seen that July 6th has been a day for world-changing medical breakthroughs, the birth of incredible sports traditions, and even record-setting heat waves. So as you step out your door into the beautiful sunshine today, what will you accomplish on this July 6th in Hastings? Whether it's finally finishing up a big project, enjoying a perfect walk down by the river, or just finding the absolute best slice of shade on a downtown patio, I hope you make it a great one. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Explainer, and I'll see you next time.